Hey Plastic Model Builders, it's me, your host, Harry Stone with Plastic Model Builder. We're doing the B-25J Mitchell. It's a Revell model, 1/48 scale. Remember, wash your parts. This is what I do first. Hey, here I am doing a Revive It Future dip. I just made a video on that. If you haven't seen it, go watch it. Here's a link for it. So anyway, this is what I'm doing. I'm cleaning. I clean my glass off with some window glass cleaner, dipping it in the Revive It, as you can see there, letting it dry out. Watch that video which shows that whole process. Subscribe if you haven't seen it. Give me some likes, and you know I love comments, that kind of deal. So we're cutting out the wing halves all here. Doing some other parts as well. We're going to get some things cut out and stuff prepared. So we got these little holes we got to drill out ahead of time. These are for the side guns that go onto this aircraft. You got 4 holes right there, and then flip it over on the other side and you see them all. There they are. 1 there, 4 in that general area, so 5 holes. Flip it, that way you can get a good nice clean hole on each side. As you can see, you got the 4 there and the 1 there at the bottom. Other plane, 2 holes, 3 holes. There we go. I miscount sometimes, that's okay. So got to make those look good. The sprues, they were rather thick where they were connected to the parts, so you're going to have to sand a lot of those down to get a good fit and make the plane look pretty for some model making madness. Got the little pinhole registrations and stuff like that from the mold releases. A lot of those. We are going to glue on some things right here. My favorite thing is glue. So we got these chairs. See how the orientation goes? Just like that. Sits right down there, right inside of this fuselage. Get all around there. It's hard to make a lot of these things stick in this plane, but it can be done. We've got some instruments and all that good stuff. I put all this stuff in ahead of time. Then we painted it, trying stuff new, seeing how well we can do with stuff already in the plane this time. It's my model, so I can do it that way, and you can do yours your way. Alright, and we see how that fits in there. Little black boxes and radios, all that good gear. And if they're not radios, somebody will tell me, I promise. Cabinetry, I guess. I don't know. File systems? I don't know. Somebody will tell me again if I'm right or wrong. I just build models. I don't know what's inside of the real airplanes. We got some bulkheads right here. Landing gear area for the nose. Fill in the mold release holes right here. I got my little Tamiya thin putty. Works great. Just started using this stuff, as you can see. Smells really nice too, so wear a mask for the vapors. I encourage it. That way you don't kill your brain cells. This is how I do it. At least this. Put a toothpick on there. Kind of smooth it out, and then you'll sand it down afterwards so it meets up nicely with the rest of the plastic. It does a good job. And your little snippers here. More internals for this aircraft that go all along the edges. They didn't want to really stick too well because of their design. One of the flaws of the model that we find out as we build it. But overall, it looks good when it's done. And you don't really see a lot of this stuff in the model because you can see where the windows are. And seeing inside of that is not the easiest thing in the world. So with that said, you're kind of doing some of this stuff for the fun and for the skill, just to test out your knowledge of looking at pictures and getting details right. Because we love details, because it's our models and that's how we do it. Anyway, we were putting in all these pieces in the front of the plane, as you can see. Cabinets, chairs, all sorts of good stuff. This is a rear bulkhead. Put that in right there. We have to secure it. It didn't want to stay very well, so pay attention to that. Once it is in there though, you do want to put on the other part of the fuselage. Reason, you need to properly align it. So we put this on, you'll see on the inside right there. Just want to make sure everything is nice and square. Here are the wing halves. Like I said, you got some nasty sprue marks that you're going to have to get off on each of these. Make sure all your pins and your registrations fit properly first before doing this. Some have to be filed down a little, some holes need to be drilled out. pay attention to that. It's always good to remember, test fit your parts. Kind of with modeling 101, we are all guilty of not doing it and getting in a rush and trying to make things look pretty without trying to make things look pretty. Doesn't always work out. Anyway, get your glue, just kind of go all the way around, pressing down the wing as you go. It will help it stick better, and that glue will start to work fairly quickly because it's some good stuff and it smells really nice. Wear a mask if you're using it. Sometimes when I do build my models, I put them into the spray booth that I have and turn the fan on. That way it sucks out those vapors in addition to wearing a mask, because realistically we breathe this stuff in. You don't want to do that. It's bad. This is where the plane was made as its latest release. You see that little thing there. So this is the other wing, filling out the pins and all the little holes that they fit into. Good little fit. See that? That's the internal inside of the wing. And then right over there will be a landing light. And of course you have pitot tubes that will go in this a little bit later towards the very end of when you build this plane, because you don't want to stick those in ahead of time because they'll get broken. Engine nacelles. We got 4 halves. Combine them. They have these little things on the end. Be careful not to rip those off, because mine don't have them anymore. They just kind of got in the way. You can see them right there. They get filed down accidentally. Your hand touches them, they break off. They were not very secure. I don't even think mine are on the plane anymore. They might be, I don't remember. You can see how this fits very nicely. Test fitting that just to make sure. We do have landing gear. We'll go in between this. I test fit my landing gear into the wings first, and we will show you that a little bit later, so keep watching so you can see it. Just go all along the inside. This is how I got the glue to work on this aircraft and the nacelles, because it was important to make sure that I had them glued together nice and tight and firm. This is one of them. Remember, there are 2. Be careful when you hold it, because there's nothing really gripping it on the underside. That's why I'm pressing it down on something, a flat surface, so we can kind of press it down and make sure it stays. And you see right there, this is the other one, how thick that thing meets up with the sprue, the part. So you do have to do a bit of sanding to make that look good, or cut it out differently, your choice. This is the second one, and you see how it goes together. You kind of have to pop it in there just like that, and then same thing with the back part. Gets in there. Put your glue on the inside, because that's how I did mine, so you want to mimic how I did it. By the way, I do appreciate when you watch my videos, especially when you watch all of them, and especially when you watch the premieres with me. If you didn't know, I do that, where you can, every 2 weeks on Saturday at 10:30, we watch the premiere together and we chat. So if you're interested in chatting, come chat along with us. It is quite fun. And you know, we are nearing 2,000 subscribers, and another 250 subscribers will be there. So this is this logo. Got to get rid of it. It's in a bad spot. It's on the wing. Made in China. So here are the wheels. We're not putting them in yet. They only go one way. Watch what happens. We stick this in. Nope, faces backwards. Really, it's not backwards, it's just the wrong direction. So that's what it looks like. Yes, it does look kind of like it's angled, but it really isn't, because it sits flush when the wing is on the plane, because the wings are actually angled. You see how that works? So I put the nacelles on. The wheels are not in there. We will do that later on based on how I built this model. But you know, sometimes you want to make sure that you can get everything in and see how it fits before you want to build the plane. And I assure you, you can put these wheels in after you get the nacelles on. It can be done. I don't remember what the directions said, because I didn't follow them, because it's a model. And sometimes we have to do things a little bit differently than directions based on how we want to paint and mask things. So here you see, getting on this nacelle right here, got a little bit of a gap, so you can kind of fix that with some putty. Decent sized gap, make sure you cover it well. Get the glue on each side, these little areas right here that will get an engine cover later on, so some of this you won't see, you won't have to worry about it, but it is model making madness, of course. So now we have our tail and our stabilizer, which Just go around the edges of this. Same thing, you know how to glue things. I'll show you how easily this part goes together. You know, sometimes I feel like I should just put it together, then do the glue like I see, but for some reason I treat it like other brands where they tell you put all the glue on both surfaces first, then press it together, and then put more glue. So that's what I do. See that small little pin in that hole right there? This one goes together, like I said, fairly easily. You will have to do some sanding and stuff like that, and we will put together the stabilizer portions next. Very easy to do. And there it is again. You see how this sprue is just really thick and attached to that, so you either cut it close or you don't do some sanding. Right here you got to sand those registrations, not the registrations, but the release things again, those little circles, because they raise up a little bit. I had to widen out a hole right here. So this is why you watch the whole videos, so you can see these little details. Sometimes people just fast forward right through it, and they wonder, they get to playing, well, I don't remember seeing that. It's because you didn't watch everything. So good reason to watch everything for the whole video. You see, these go together easily. They only go one way, and they will fit into each section that you saw where it jutted out on the rear tail there. Same thing right here.